Punchboard Media,
where we all bring something to the table.
Pull up a chair
at punchboardmedia.com.
Party Gamecast will show you what to play, giving you ideas when you don't know what to do or say. Party Gamecast, it's all fun and games, we'll show you new ideas to play. Party Gamecast, having fun is easy when you know what games to play. Party Gamecast will show you what to play, giving you ideas so you can party away.
Welcome to the Party Gamecast, featuring the Party Gamecast, a podcast about party games and games to take to parties. I'm your moderator, Bruce. Joining me on the show is Rocky.
Hello there.
Mom.
Hi.
Mike.
Greetings.
Brian.
What's up?
And Marty.
Hi, Bruce.
How are you, Marty?
I'm doing all right.
Nice. It's such a lovely holiday that we're having here.
What are we celebrating?
We're celebrating Thanksgiving, Marty. That's when this episode comes out, is Thanksgiving. Stop it. Stop giving away the business, Marty. Stop breaking kayfabe, Marty. It's Thanksgiving, Marty.
And we are recording this and putting it out today.
Yes.
Yeah.
Still
We're
real to me,
broadcasting
David.
live.
Yeah.
And
the
you
first
people
download.
should be thankful because this is totally what we're doing all day.
Yeah.
That
would
explains
you
the
do?
turkeys.
Indeed, we did this last night. The biggest party night of the year, mind you.
Duh.
We were going to go to so many bars,
As we do.
as we do,
Us bar hoppers.
and we decided instead to be here talking about this.
Yay.
Yay. So, as a note, we did put out a couple of surveys, mostly to folks that are Patreons, that follow us on patreon.com, to try and decide what classic game we would cover for 2019 Thanksgiving, and we are covering Clue.
Yay.
That was about the reception that I had expected. So, yeah, Clue, that classic game that you play with your family where someone gets brutally murdered at the very beginning and then you all just trounce about a house trying to figure out how it happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what I want to ask is, so I kind of remember Clue as a kid playing it a little bit, and it was just like a game everybody cheated at, and that was all I can really say I safely...
You mean like Mystery of the Abbey?
Kind of like Mystery of the Abbey, but even more cheating, and it was so much more intentional.
Could it be more cheating, Bruce?
Yeah, it could be more cheating. When I cheated at Mystery of the Abbey, it was a complete accident.
I wouldn't even know how. My brain shut off after the first 3 hours, and I just wanted to leave, so... how would you even cheat?
Here's how you cheat, is that you mix up your notes of what you think is happening with what is actually happening, and then when someone says, hey, Bruce, is that real? And you didn't read your notes correctly, you go, yeah, no, that's definitely a thing that's real. And then you realize that your assumptions were wrong since hour one.
So you just lie to the other players.
That is exactly how that works.
Yeah, you can't do that in Clue. There's cards.
Yeah, that's what I needed, were more cards.
Yeah, that's what Mystery of the Abbey needed. Some more complexity is what it needed. It needed more stuff going on.
Yeah.
To make it take longer.
So, as a kid, Brian, what are your memories of Clue?
I played it a bunch with my friends through probably maybe until high school. I guess we played it off and on, less so as I got older, but we still played it through middle school. I remember playing the base version and the version we played today, the
Master Detective
with extra rooms and people and stuff. I liked it. It was fun. I wouldn't say it was my favorite game, but like I was always happy to play it. So, yeah, basically positive memories of it.
Very good. How about you, Marty? You have any early memories of Clue?
I've played it a few times. It was enjoyable, but I don't know. It was one of those games where it just took a long time, and it's an interesting game, and it was fun, but it wasn't like exciting or didn't like grab your attention, and you had to pay attention, so it was kind of like a forced. It was more work than game.
How is it not exciting, Marty? Someone was murdered. How higher stakes do you need?
They were murdered off screen.
Than a murder.
Yeah, like Mike said, it already happened. You know, we came to the movie with the body already dead.
So an interesting thing, if you're out there and you like games, which I have to guess if you're here you do, So
Why?
there is a game.
I mean, we don't cover those usually.
We barely do. Really, you're here for food, and we'll get to that in a minute. There is a game called Kill Dr. Lucky. And Kill Dr. Lucky, the whole plot of it is...
Another cheap-ass game.
It is by Cheap Ass Games, and it is supposed to be Clue 2 hours before Clue happens. So you are running around a building trying to murder this guy with no one seeing you. But he is also especially lucky, hence the name. So you might try to shoot him and, like, a chicken appears and spooks you. And that's just kind of how the whole game goes, is you're trying to get a clear shot at him to murder him with something and make sure that nobody in the house can see you. Which I think is a fine way to take care of Clue, quite frankly. Mike, any early memories of Clue?
I played it a couple of times as a kid. I remember not really liking it then. I got it, and I could play, and I figured out how to do the deduction, but it's really just a matter of, once everyone understands it, it's who gets the right information at the right time, because there's no way to really accelerate your information gathering in any way other than making educated guesses. Like, I got, in our playthrough,
Yep.
I got the murder weapon through a lucky guess, because I guessed 2 of the cards that I had and a murder weapon, and the murder weapon wasn't in anyone else's cards. I'm like, well, I just guessed that murder weapon. It's really, for something that's supposed to be a deduction game, there's an awful lot of luck in it.
Yeah, I mean, I think in a way in which you could randomize and put cards somewhere and still be able to dribble the information out, I don't know if there would have been a better way to do that. I mean, like, newer games, even like Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective, which technically was made years before Clue Master Detective was.
Well, yeah.
But, I mean, like, unless it's a story and you can only play it through one time, I think that kind of stuff becomes difficult without, like, some sort of a luck element being a part of it.
Well, some sort, yes, but it seems like there's going to be some of the luck element in the guesswork, and some of it is just going to be when things come up and when your turn comes up. Because there was a point where we had gotten in our game where I had the weapon, I had the place, and I had narrowed down the people to 3. And I just knew it was not going to get back to my turn, though. I just wasn't going to get another turn. So, and sure enough, the game ended on the turn before mine. And there was no way I could have done that other than taking a shot in the dark and possibly being wrong in a 1 in 3 chance. So it's sort of deduction and then sort of just, oh, well, that's as far as I can get.
Yeah, I suppose I can see that.
Yeah, I would say playing it as an adult is a lot different. That seems more likely. But as a kid, I don't remember that happening much because we were kids. So somebody would figure it out, but usually the other people were way off on a different track. You know, whereas now we're adults and smarter and savvier. And
I'm neither smarter nor savvier and had no notes.
Okay, well, the 4 of us that attempted to guess, or whatever, and you know, whoever it was, they got it right.
I don't even remember.
Some really clever member of the Gamecast.
I think it was Rocky.
Mike, why were you whining? It sounds like you won the game.
I totally did not win the game.
Rocky won the game.
Whoever
Yeah.
was sitting to Mike's right won. I forget who that was.
It was
Smart.
Rocky.
It was Rocky.
Okay.
It was Rocky.
I remember it distinctly.
It was definitely Rocky.
So, Mom, do you have any childhood kind of memories of Clue? Or
Absolutely.
okay,
We used to play Clue quite a bit. It was a group of us that we get together after school, and it was fun. I enjoyed it. I still do.
nice,
Yeah. It's one of those classic games.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think there's a reason it sticks around. I believe. Rocky, how about you?
None whatsoever. This was my first
Rocky
time
was
playing
raised
Clue.
in a cave.
Hey,
Rocky got beginner's luck when she won.
yeah. I'm just very savvy. Yeah. Never played Clue growing up at all. I did play the Babysitter's Club board game growing up. Does that count?
Yes, that is exactly the same.
Yeah, I think
Okay,
somebody was murdered at the start of that game too, right?
Sure, yeah.
No, it's the end of that game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh.
Oh, they're the
And
worst
it's not in the
babysitters.
game. It's just the people playing the game.
Oh, they're the worst babysitters. Wow. So, what country did you grow up in?
You're hilarious, sir.
I thought so.
I am American. I grew up in Maryland, and
It's that public school
Yeah, I know.
education.
Yeah, you just missed the Clue.
Hey
So-
now.
Okay.
I don't know. I played Trouble.
Yeah, that's
a
not-
classic game, right?
See, we just got
It's a
into
classic,
trouble.
yeah.
Similar games.
Yeah, I know nothing remotely like Clue was played in my household.
Wow.
No.
So it was just all Babysitter's Club all the time?
And Mitzvah Monopoly.
So, help me here.
I was not ready for that.
No. So when you're playing Mitzvah Monopoly,
Yes.
What are you collecting to get what?
You're getting shekels to buy properties.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
Oh, my word.
Yeah.
What are the properties in Mitzvah
I
Monopoly?
wish I could remember. Because,
Oh.
as a child, you're like, I don't understand any of this. But, yeah. I
Wow.
don't remember
I
exactly.
Oh, my word.
I'm sure it's downstairs somewhere. Because there's no way I would have thrown that out.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen it. It must be here somewhere.
I almost want to go run
This is
down there and
something
find
we
it
should
now.
totally have played at Extra Life.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This
I
is
would-
something we totally should have played at Extra Life.
Yeah.
Maybe you should have brought that with you.
Yeah.
I'll ask my past self about that.
We
Yeah.
should totally go back in time and bring that to Extra Life.
You're reminding me. So I owned a game when I was a kid called Chutzpah.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
It was, and I only remember that it was like a hand-drawn board. Like, I mean, clearly it was a public, like, it wasn't like I owned one the guy drew. But, like, whatever graphics were there were clearly done by just, like, straight up by hand. And it was sort of like Monopoly, but not really.
Huh.
Yeah.
That sounds very, very similar to, like, because it was definitely a professionally produced game, but the
Yes.
artwork wasn't the most professional.
Mine too.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll have to go to
Interesting.
Board Game Geek and figure
Yeah.
out. Well, no, we've talked a little bit about our game of the show, but
A little.
a little bit.
a bit.
But we're going to jump in. The whole structure of this show is going to be different. We're just going to eat a bunch of stuff and then just talk about Clue. So we're going to jump on to the first thing that we're eating. I'd like to note that almost all of the food from today has come from the fine folks at Yarrington's Yark Yurt. If you can find a corner, go crazy. Yeah. Yeah. So a lot of this came from an area of the world that we have agreed to call the Mexas.
Yeah. By now,
Duh.
I'm sure even the non-Patreons have or are about to hear the episode where that's
or
from.
will
Will
eventually
will-
hear. If
will
you
have
were a
heard.
patron, you will have already heard this.
Yeah, the future past tense
Yeah.
will have heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Where we talk about the Mexico-Texas border, which we are calling the Mexas.
Ooh.
And apparently, Yarrington's Yark Yurt somewhere in Mexas.
Seems appropriate.
Yeah. So we're going to begin with a little amuse bouche. So if you're out there and you're thinking, hey, Bruce, what does amuse bouche mean?
Exactly what you think it means.
Exactly what you think it means. Mom, help us out here. Because I think of all of us, you're probably the most culinary, maybe. You sure are the most French, I think.
Emphasis on culinary. The cool and the culinary.
The cool and culinary.
She definitely
Puts the
puts
cool
the cool
in
and culinary.
Nice. So, if they need to know, tell these fine folks what an amuse bouche is.
Bonjour. Je m'appelle Michel. C'est le mousse-bouche, c'est le bon. Zivrons nos désolés. Sommes la Bourgogne pour vous.
Okay.
I was not ready
I was
for that.
no.
I was warned.
I told
and
you she was
not,
the most French.
I did not. Okay.
It sounds like you're going to have salmon in Peru. Is that...
Something it's good, and it won't
Good.
be
You
bad.
won't be disappointed.
There you go.
Sad.
Desolate.
You'll
I was
be
like,
sad.
You know, sad, no disappointed.
So what we're going to try here is Rock,
Okay.
if you do me a favor, just pull up a definition
Okay. All
in
right.
English.
These, often accompanied by a complimentary wine, we've already failed,
Yeah.
oh,
are served to both prepare the guest for the meal and to offer a glimpse of the chef's style. The term is French and literally means mouth amuser.
You know, so there was this whole
Not
period
ready.
where I tried
nope.
desperately
Edit.
to sell myself.
Nope.
Edit.
Nope.
Okay. I'll stop.
Nope.
I'll stop.
Still a family show.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to add is as a person that has watched some Food Network,
Yes.
A little bit.
anytime they're like, oh, it's an amuse bouche, it's always served on a spoon.
Yeah.
Like, entirely, it's like, oh, we made this elaborate soup, and then we poured 5 drops of it into a spoon, and then we threw the rest away, because cooking. And it always seems to go that way.
Yes.
So, we're going to begin with an amuse bouche. Rocky, please do your best to explain this, because I don't know that I have the words.
Okay. So it is, I'm just going to read it first, and then I'll see what I can do.
Okay.
It is El Azteca brand, soft candy, mango, and tamarind flavor, Cucharita Plus, mango and tamarindo flavor. Yeah, it's just a bag of spoons.
Yeah, it is literally a bag of spoons. It's a bag of spoons.
Individually wrapped spoons, rubber banded together so they stay cute. Each spoon seems to have one side of like mustard yellow and one side of caramel brown, just blobs on them.
Yeah, I think that about covers
Yeah.
it. So let's start with our amuse bouche, folks.
All right, hang on. Give me a
There's
second.
going to be so many courses. There's going to be
Oh,
so
yeah.
many courses.
I usually do not start with the amuse bouche course without the wine, but
Yeah, I
So many-
understand. We're asking you, please, Mike, this episode.
What is the full name on the pad? It's Cucharita what?
Plus.
Oh, okay. So our Spanish-speaking listeners might know that Cucharita means teaspoon.
Oh, nice. Okay. Very nice.
yes, this
I
is a
had to Google
teaspoon
that, I
and
didn't
some
know.
stuff in the teaspoon.
Yeah.
You gonna explain this
It
one in
it
Spanish?
looks like a lazy way to make a lollipop.
Nope, you're going to do that too.
So poking it through the plastic, it's squishy.
Oh, my word.
The
it is.
mango, yeah, oh yeah, they are both kind of squishy.
Oh, my word.
We're gonna have to make sure we hide
And
these rubber bands.
very
Cat.
sticky.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to lose all my teeth to this.
Oh no!
I'm going to lose every tooth.
Just pace yourself, man.
Don't bite the spoon.
It has dyed the plastic like.
Oh, my word.
You can't get the plastic off.
Yeah, I'm trying to give this thing, whoa.
That is a smell.
It sure is.
Oh yeah,
Huh.
you can get the tamarind.
I'm trying.
Yeah,
not
it's
to,
tamarind as heck, y'all.
trying not to mango this item here on the table. Okay.
All right.
Wow. At first it was weird. I don't dislike this. I find it very weird that I'm just licking off of a plastic spoon. That feels a little strange.
Yeah.
It's tart and
Tart
salty.
and gritty and salty and just
Why is
very
so much?
odd.
It is tart
Yeah.
and gritty and salty, but in a way that I think I like.
Yeah, it's the tamarind is good, and the mango's kind of mellowing the harshness of the tamarind.
Yeah, I think it's just a little bit too salty.
Why
That's
is
the
so much
tamarind.
It is-
Mexican candy salty?
Muy bueno.
So yeah, the color is unnatural. I do find the sucking it off a spoon to feel weird, and it is a little saltier than I would expect a candy to be.
I would point out that the color is actually very natural because tamarind and mango are both these colors.
I suppose,
Shoot.
but it doesn't feel right looking at it.
Okay.
It's
so,
a weird combo.
Yeah.
So I bit a chunk off, and it's a little spicy. Once you
Yeah.
chew it a little bit. Like licking it, I was not getting that.
Yeah.
And then when I got a little bit, I was like,
Oh wow.
There are little red flecks in the mango.
Oh my word. That is gadzooks.
Oh yeah.
This is a super interesting candy.
sour. No. Nope.
Oh, if you could see the expressions right now.
Oh my word. So if you've ever fed a wasabi pea to a willing dog, you'll know this look.
Uh,
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good actually. It's about a week's worth of sugar, I feel like, in this
Oh, yeah.
teaspoon. But-
And salt.
so
Yeah.
this spoon is only 56 calories.
How much sodium?
The spoon or the stuff in it?
Well, I would assume the whole thing together. So, if you chomped on the spoon.
Probably not a lot of calories in plastic.
Eh.
I mean, I could save some calories by just not eating the spoon.
That is true. So then we have to ask
Medical bills.
we must ask the on-brand question we always ask, would you take it to a party, Marty?
I mean, just for sheer novelty, but not because it's good. I mean,
Okay.
it's interesting, but and I actually like salt on a lot of stuff, but it just does not work on this.
Okay, I don't know that I agree with you there, but I understand where you're coming from. How about you, Brian?
Yeah, I think the novelty factor alone would be the main seller. Otherwise, it's just sweet. Like the format is novel, and tamarind and mango is going to make people go, "What?" But it basically tamarinds taste like raisins.
And it's spicy.
It's
and
a little
it's salty.
spicy. It's salty. I mean, like, I enjoy it. I don't want a ton of them, but I would have one again, and I would I don't know, maybe take it. Depends. It would really depend on the party.
Yeah.
But yeah, I could see serving these to other people, probably.
Yeah. How about you, Mike?
Maybe, again, it's from the novelty. Because how often do you get a weird Mexican prepackaged amused bouche that you can just throw at your friends and go, here, have a spoon?
So frequently that we fast-tracked it to this episode for the show.
Yeah.
How about you, Mom, taking it to a party?
I think so. For the same reasons, though, that everyone's already said, the novelty of it. It's really good, though. I do like it. And I would definitely eat it again.
This is super tasty. How about, oh my God, Rock just looks like existential dread has crossed her face.
It's
It's
crisis, really.
okay.
So I keep wanting to taste it and have some more, and then every time I do, I instantly regret it. So, because I don't like sour, because it's definitely tart, like the kind you can feel in your jaw a little bit. And then it's spicy and confusing. And I think I would bring it to the party just to see how people react.
This may be a thing we have to bring to a party.
Yeah.
Because this is really interesting.
Yes.
I know a party where they would fit in.
I also know a party where they would fit in.
We had it 2 days ago.
Yeah, we had it just the other day.
Last night, actually.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
well,
had it just the other day.
That was an amazing party.
I wonder
was.
what the reaction will have been to that party.
I can't even imagine how they will have reacted.
Yeah, I can't even imagine remembering how they reacted 12
We'll have
hours
to
ago.
remember this for next year.
Indeed we will.
Yeah.
So we're going to move on to a little bit of the history of Clue. So, as we've mentioned, we are playing Clue.
You didn't tell us if you were going to bring us to a party.
Oh, you're
Yeah,
absolutely
Bruce.
right. Not only,
Yeah.
thank you, Marty. Yes, I absolutely would. This is so strange that, and I like the taste of it. The presentation is just, I want to say ridiculous, but it's not ridiculous. It's just something I've never seen before.
One thing I would point out, too, the outside packaging is clearly professional packaging. Everything inside looks like somebody's aunt made these and is selling them at the farmer's market.
Yeah.
It's just a rubber band around a normal spoon with like a kind of wrapper you'd find around like a piece of peppermint.
Yeah. But everything else feels like super duper professional until the actual item itself, and you're like, what is this?
Yeah, if you took them to a party without the bag, everyone would just think you made them.
Yeah. So we're going to move on. Clue Master Detective is what we will be playing. So Clue was what everyone voted on, and this is the second best Clue available according to Board Game Geek, with the Museum Caper being the best Clue, and also very expensive, and that's not happening. So we played Clue Master Detective, which is just Clue you're used to, but with more rooms and more weapons and more people. The advantage to this is it gives us a little bit of a history lesson, so sit down, folks. Let me tell you a brief history of the world's favorite mystery game. Are you ready? That's what I thought. In 1946, a solicitor's clerk from Birmingham, England, paid a visit to the firm of Waddington's Games Limited in Leeds. Anthony E. Pratt and his wife had come with a couple of game-inventing friends to present their idea and prototype of a mystery detection game to the game manufacturers. They met. They played the game with some Waddington's employees while the firm's managing director looked on. I add these words, apparently unwilling to play this game. Fortunately for all of us, the people at Waddington's liked what they saw and agreed to produce the game. Only 3 years later, Parker Brothers brought the game to American mystery lovers, and it's been a family favorite ever since. Years later, the Parker Brothers lose their company, it all gets bought by Hasbro. Why Clue? The second page explaining. Now, I actually want to read this because I've always wondered this. So in this country, it is Clue. In the UK, it is Cluedo. And I've always wondered why it's Cluedo. So I'm going to read you that one as well. Why Clue? That's elementary, my dear Watson. I said that loud because there's an exclamation point, and that seemed like what I'm supposed to do. Because the object of the game is to collect enough clues to solve the mystery. But when this classic game was created in England, it was called Cluedo. Now that one takes a bit more explaining. Glad I caught that the second read. What we Americans call Parcheesi, Britons call Ludo, which simply means I play in Latin. So when Waddington's Games agreed to produce Anthony Pratt's new board game, they made a play on words and Ludo became Cluedo. And in more than 40 countries around the world, it's known either as Cluedo or by the American Clue name. So that's a thing.
I did not know that.
I know. That's why I was like, hey, this is actually a piece of information I've not known.
So is that supposed to sort of mean I clue?
Yeah, I believe so. I believe so, sir. I believe that's supposed to be I Clue. Before we move on to more things about Clue, let's eat some more things.
Ooh.
Let's move on to, I believe we have another side dish there that I believe looks a
is
little bit
not
like
in a spoon.
spaghetti. Yeah.
I would think
that's-
spaghetti
yeah, that's
would be
a
a
main
main
course.
dish. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'm up for whatever.
Yeah, but I would like to put that to later in the show, so there you go.
well,
So this seems to be a very similar item,
Yes.
except, looks like spaghetti and not a spoon. So exactly the same. This is Lucas Salsagetti. Mango-flavored hot candy strips and tamarind-flavored sauce.
oh, I didn't know it was the same flavors.
Also didn't
Yeah.
know there was sauce with it.
I heard
Well,
salsa and assumed normal salsa flavor.
Spaghetti, so it has to have a sauce. You can't just eat naked noodles.
So we're staying in the same flavor palette. I like this because we're going to be able to directly compare it to spoonful of goo, as I will forever refer to that as.
Spoonful of two goos,
Okay,
really.
Ooh,
What is going on here?
So you open the tray, and it's two little piles of candy spaghetti with what looks like some kind of powder. And then underneath are two little packets, which I'm about to fish out of the weirdly.
Oh my God.
It
sticky
is the
spaghetti.
sauce.
Yeah, it is the sauce made in Mexico.
What? This is amazing. This is like those Japanese DIY food kits.
Well, here's the
there's-
problem.
yeah,
All we have to eat this spaghetti with is spoons.
my spoon still has
no.
candy on it.
This literally says flavored hot liquid candy
Flavored hot liquid candy.
on it.
All those words sound great. I don't know what your
Yeah.
problem is.
It looks like.
Oh,
little
where's
ketchup
other
packets.
Brian when we need him?
Hot liquid candy.
That sounds like his cup of tea right there.
It sure does.
So my hands are immediately incredibly sticky. Like all I did was get the packet out.
Well, let's first take
Yes.
a bite of the noodles without sauce,
Okay.
because that's how you know how good a chef really is.
It's worth saying the
right.
noodles themselves
Everybody take
are
some noodle.
already like reddish orange.
Yeah, they're like candy orange.
They look like really old mac and cheese color.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you let it sit out overnight.
Yeah.
And
Or like sweet potato color.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. It looks like like almost like a fake sweet potato
Oh,
color.
mom put some in her mouth.
Oh no!
Oh, no.
My word! What are your feelings about this, Mom?
That's it.
I think I need sauce.
Oh,
They smell like peach.
That's the sweetest sweet that ever sweeted.
Yeah, it's awfully sweet.
I was not anticipating that.
That is very
Yeah, it is.
mango.
That's the wow.
yeah.
Well,
Oh,
there's
my
some
word.
mango.
Go, man,
It
go.
got better as it went along.
So
but
I'm guessing the hot sauce is tamarind because this is all mango.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let me try and break apart some of the noodles before I pour sauce on it. I hope you don't mind my fingers, y'all. Yeah.
I think it's like a really condensed flavoring on the noodles, and that's why you like it hits you really hard when you first bite it, when you
Yeah.
first put it in your
Oh,
mouth,
it got
but then
better.
the noodles themselves are a little more candy and
Yeah, they're just
starchy and-
generic
Yeah,
sweet.
these-
that, ooh, it's
They have the
good.
consistency of like not quite fully done
Oh
pasta.
my goodness!
Oh wow.
It is brown, just liquid.
Yeah, there's your tamarind.
Yeah.
I'm just putting it on one pile of the noodles so we can have some regular noodles next to it, just in case.
Yeah.
But I'm going to squeeze the whole packet on it. You're welcome.
So, this is exactly like a Japanese DIY kit, if only you had to dump a hot sauce packet full of sauce onto
Yes.
some candy noodles.
I like when my snack foods require work.
Yeah. I actually do too, like in a very not ironic way. I do really enjoy snack foods that require a little bit of
I
work.
sometimes mean that ironically, and sometimes it's actually quite endearing.
Yeah.
But it's really one or the other. I'm either
Yeah.
like, this is awesome, or why do I have to do this? It's a snack. It's supposed to be quick and easy.
I don't get
Don't
it,
make me work.
Chobani.
Yeah, I should open the package and be done.
Why do I have to tear everything Chobani and then put one thing over the other and mix them in?
Exactly.
What are you
I should
doing?
be able to
Your yogurt, shut up.
open it and shove it in my face.
Just put the fruit on the bottom like every other yogurt and shut your mouth.
Shut your yogurt hole.
Shut your yogurt hole,
Shut your
Chobani.
yogurt hole.
So everybody's just right now
Ooh.
holding a noodle covered in a little sauce and no one's jumping in to eat yet.
Oh, we're
It's-
waiting so that we
Yeah.
can all eat this together and share
like a
this
family.
experience.
Like a family
Yeah.
on Thanksgiving.
Because that's what we are.
Before it smelled fruity and sweet. Now it smells pasty.
Did it also
Yeah.
smell just a little bit now like heavily chemically?
A little bit.
I wouldn't say a little heavily.
A lot heavily.
I'd say a little medium.
It smells like that old glue paste you used to have.
Yeah. Oh.
That is tamarind hot sauce.
Oh, what happened?
Oh,
Oh, Lord. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, the look on Rocky's face.
Oh.
It's a look of disappointment.
Oh.
I don't know what you're talking about. Tamarind hot sauce is apparently really good.
I
That's
think it's
exactly
fine.
as advertised.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not very
And I
hot,
say
though.
apparently as
eat more.
I've had more. Or had it before somewhere.
Not bad.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
works.
I just wasn't quite ready for that taste. Yeah. Rocky's losing her mind. Rocky's entire face is puckered into her nose.
I was not expecting you to take another one.
Well, I
After
had to
that
make sure
reaction.
I just wasn't.
Imagining it?
Yeah.
You
You
know,
know, for science.
for me, the tamarind or the hot sauce like canceled out the crazy sweetness of the spaghetti by itself.
I agree with that, but I don't know if I think that was a good decision.
Finish
I think it was. It's still, you have that weird pastiness on the end of whatever the noodles are actually made out of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're a little pasty and a little gritty. And
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I've had tamarind hot sauce and because I just like hot sauces and I've
Yeah.
had ones with, and it works pretty well with them. So I kind of like, and it's not very spicy.
No.
It's just like, it's like medium Taco Bell spicy,
Yeah.
but it was good.
So, would you take it to a party, Rock?
And yeah, because it's really weird.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is super abnormal for anything I'm used to seeing.
It's pretty. Even though I'm making horrible faces as I eat it, I kind of enjoy it.
It is kind of fun.
I don't know why, because I really hate sour, but it loops back up to sweet fast enough that I can get past that. And spicy. Spicy's fine.
How about you, Mom?
I like it. I think I would take it. Yep. It's pretty good. It's but I think I do like the amuse bouche more.
Yeah, I do think I do also like the spoon more than I do, but the spaghetti's so weird.
It's very, it is. It's very weird.
I like
and
the
it's
spaghetti.
sticky. And I don't know how everybody at a party would like to be all sticky.
I mean,
Yeah.
it depends on the party.
You know?
It's like both of these.
Yeah.
Both of these require their own utensils, but at
Yeah.
least the mush bouche comes with its own utensil.
Agreed.
Yeah.
The chapagetti, as I want to call it, the salsagetti really wants you to have like a tiny little fork with it. Mike, how do you feel about this one? Taking this to a party?
Yeah, I actually like this more than I like the amuse bouche. I prefer. I don't like the fact that we had to eat it with our fingers because it is kind of sticky. Like
Yeah.
it's hard to pick out a piece of this spaghetti stuff with sauce on it and not get sticky.
Yeah.
But if you were to say have a fork, as apparently we don't, it would probably be just fine. And yeah, that'd be a heck of a thing to bring out at a party. No one would be expecting this.
Well, I mean, Mike, we're not people of great wealth. We don't have candy forks.
We don't have budget for candy.
Yeah, we don't have candy forks, Mike.
We do have a budget for candy forks, in fact.
We don't. Not to get to candy forks, Mike. You have no idea how.
Where is that on the list? It needs to be bumped up.
Clearly, it must. I didn't know we
Much higher than microphones, Bruce. We don't
joke.
need those.
It was a joke. I didn't figure candy fork would come up as an important thing at some point.
Why did you think we needed microphones more than candy forks? Clearly,
I'm learning now.
that's more important. It's definitely more important than board games.
So, Brian, how'd you feel about this one? Taking this one to a party?
Yeah, I think so. The sheer novelty of it alone, I actually enjoyed the flavor. I think I'm with Mike on it would need utensils. Like if I took it, I would take like little forks or something and maybe cut it into pieces so that people wouldn't have to like, because spaghetti with sauce is the opposite of finger food,
Yes.
in my opinion. Even novelty candy spaghetti and novelty candy hot sauce, still not a good idea. So yeah, that would be my only caveat. I'd take it with a fork
Okay.
and cut it up like the little pieces and drizzle hot sauce on it. But people would just be confused, and that would entertain me alone.
I can see that. How about you, Marty? Taking this one to a party?
If I'm going for novelty shock value, yeah. If for like all the reasons said before, it's like just it actually requires a lot of extra stuff, not just pouring the hot sauce on, but making like getting a plate and or at least a fork, and if sharing it in the party, so you probably want multiple forks, and it's just it's a lot of effort
Yes.
for something that shouldn't take effort.
I can see that. I do have to say, I kind of enjoy the extra effort this would take, and I would love to walk into a party and be like, I have a candy to show you. Now get me a plate, a knife, and some forks. What did you say, Bruce? Stat! Get me those things stat. Don't ask questions.
As
I told
opposed to
you.
our toffee, all we need is a hard surface.
Exactly, just break a toffee. No, you don't understand. What did I say? I didn't say question what I'm doing. I said get me a plate, some forks, and a knife. I have candy to serve. So for that, I'm definitely in, far as that goes. So now we're moving on to talking to our next part of Clue. And yes, you knew we would get here. You knew this is what we were going to have to do. In the 1980s, there was a Clue movie made that was like maybe one of the greatest movies ever made.
Oh, goodness, yes.
Yeah, that's pretty safe bet.
Tim Curry.
I mean,
that's all you really need to say. Tim Curry.
It had Tim Curry in it. It had Christopher Lloyd in it. It had Martin Mull in it. It had, I'm trying to remember who else. The woman from Private Benjamin was in it, and she was amazing. Can somebody, because I know there are a lot of phones, if somebody can kind of pull up the cast on this, because it was...
It was Madeline Kahn.
Madeline Kahn was in it.
Hang on.
Oh, who was Miss Scarlet? I forgot what her name was.
Yeah.
Madeline Kahn, Leslie Ann Warren,
That's
Tim
her.
Curry, Colleen Camp, Christopher Lloyd, Michael McKean, Martin Mull,
Michael McKean.
That was
Eileen
Mr. Green.
Brennan, Jane Weedlet?
Yep. Yeah, from the Go-Go's.
Yeah. Lee Ving,
Mr.
Kelly
Bonnie.
Nakahara, and Jeffrey Kramer.
Yep. Because, Jane Whedon, I believe the drummer for the Go-Go's, starts off the very beginning of the movie. She's the singing telegram
Yeah.
that's in the movie. But so...
Yes.
Yeah.
So what the whole thing is they decided to make sort of this hard-boiled, weird, almost like... I want to say haunted house only because they're all trapped in the same building the whole time. Not that the building is in fact haunted, but it has that same kind of like set where everybody's trapped in the house for some reason. And it is just fantastic where they decide to set Clue in this kind of generic between the 20s and the 40s. And it's really just such an amazing movie. I know, Rocky, you were telling me there is a particular reason you have seen Clue.
I didn't know we'd bring this up on the air. Thanks, Bruce.
You're very welcome. I thought, why not?
I got sent to Space Academy for bat mitzvah present. And
Nice.
I arrived a day early because of my flight. And so, at that point, they don't know what to do with you. So they stick you in a trailer, and you watch old movies, including Clue. Surprise!
So now, one thing you talked about, I'm old enough that I remember when Clue came to the theater, and I remember like young me, not really remembering anything specific, but remembering going to see Clue, and remembering like the playing cards at the end of the movie that flip over when they play music and stuff. But one of the big things they tried to do with this movie was it was this like kind of quasi hard-boiled detective movie, and it had 3 different endings, and depending on which theater you went to. So in the newspaper, which for those of you that don't know what that is, that's when they would print ink on paper, and it would have, in all good theory, what was the news, but because it was back then, that stuff was probably, almost 15 hours old by the time they put it out.
Yeah,
It
it's
was
like
all
if
the news that was fit to print.
Yeah.
you've printed out a web page and then sent it to somebody via messenger.
But they hadn't checked Messenger for like half a day.
Yeah.
Which
No,
is
I mean,
amazing, but
I'm sorry, like
a bike messenger.
Like a
bike
bike
messenger,
messenger.
not like instant messenger.
Oh, okay.
So when they would have those things, they would put in these newspapers what the bijou, the cinema, was playing. The bijou.
Wow, with the fancy French words
And
today.
I know. This is all of them I got, man.
All 3.
All 3, and we're done. So they would put in the movie theater listing, like Clue, and then a time. And they would tell you when the start of the movie was. Clue 4:10. And then it would have like A, B, or C after it. And that's so you knew you were going to get either the A, the B, or the C ending. When it finally went to HBO, which back then meant home box office.
Okay, a box office.
A box office.
is the place at the front of the theater where you bought your tickets.
So like Fandango?
Yes,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like it was a building,
Like,
but then like
if
also
you-
you brought that building in your house.
So if you go to Fandango and you get something will call,
Oh, it's
that's
the
the place
place-
where you go to pick it up.
Oh, okay. I thought it was just like a Fandango employee.
No,
I mean, they might
Who
be
was
in the
waiting
box
there.
office.
Okay.
Yeah.
so when they brought it to HBO, They were like, why in the world would we put one ending on this? Let's just put all 3 endings for the release, and we'll just call it a day. Same for VHS tapes. So what a VHS tape is... So they decided to just put all 3 endings in the same thing. And this seemed to be, in the theater, it did really mediocre, like to the point to where everyone involved, all these amazing talents and the writer and the director and everybody felt really good about this, and they pushed really hard to make this movie, and they're like, it's going to be great. And it did terrible at the movie theater because people were figuring that no one wanted to go knowing they were only seeing one of 3 endings to a movie. Once it finally came out to like home video and everyone got to see all 3 endings, it became a huge hit. And a lot of that being based on one of the most famous lines from the movie, which is, I believe it's Miss White, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think.
The flames on the side of my face.
Yes,
Madeline Kahn.
It's Madeline Kahn.
Yes.
Yeah.
Madeline Kahn ad-libbing this line that made it to the movie that has become by far the most famous line of the film was only in one of the 3 endings. So, considered to be the single best moment of the movie by many people, was literally only in a third of the theaters that saw it. The rest of the time, we were actually noting as we played the game. So if you've seen the movie, if you haven't seen the movie, literally stop this show right now. Go watch the movie and come back. Because if you didn't feel excluded enough in how we've been talking about it, it's really about to get bad.
Also, you're welcome, because if you haven't seen that movie, you really owe it to yourself.
For real, though.
I mean, if you like fun and entertaining things.
Yeah,
Who likes that?
But then why are you listening to us?
Oh.
Oh, real serious us dig, Marty. We were playing Clue Master Detective today, and I would say, like, I played Clue as a kid, and then I saw the movie, and then I never really touched Clue again or thought about it. And as I got older, I then watched the movie Clue some more times, to the point where I really learned to love the movie Clue, and it's like a top 10 movie with Galaxy Quest for me in some of the greatest movies ever made. And I had not thought about, there are parts in the movie, and if any of you have seen it, you know, where Tim Curry, who plays the butler, which is not a character in the game, is running around the house trying to explain, well, then you would go into the conservatory and he grabbed the blah, 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 he did this, and then he, like, drops a purse, and he's like, but then I realized that wasn't it, and he runs to another part of the house and grabs another purse, and he's like, okay, well, maybe it was Mrs. White here, so then you said blah, 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 and then she grabbed a candlestick, and she swung it, and then she missed, you ducked, you ran, and he runs and takes everybody with him. And I never really thought about the fact that's because in the board game, to make an accusation, you have to be in the correct room with the weapon and the person.
To make a suggestion.
I'm sorry, you're right. To make a suggestion.
To make an accusation, you could be anywhere.
Yes,
which is what the movie did.
Yeah, in the movie, he's in like the main hallway when he finally calls it. And I just never thought about how clever that was. I did not know that movie had any more gifts to give.
Oh, there's another one that I just realized while we were talking about the cast.
Yeah.
So this one requires a little bit of explanation, but it's really remarkable now that I know about it. So you'd mentioned that Lee Ving is part of the cast. He played Mr. Body in the movie. I thought that was a sort of cute name.
Yeah.
I didn't realize until now, just a few days ago, I was listening to some old 80s music. Okay.
Okay.
It's a classic rock.
This is not classic rock. So, early 80s LA hardcore punk.
Okay.
There was a band called Fear that is widely one of those bands that has had lots of influence on the bands that you've heard of, but you've never heard of this band themselves.
Okay.
Lee Ving was the front man to Fear. Okay. An extremely just offensive, loud, hardcore punk band. And he was in this movie with the lead singer of the Go-Go's.
Nice. That's amazing.
Yes.
Oh, this is the 9 Inch Nails Taylor Swift mashup of movie appearances.
Yeah.
Of your parents' generation.
Yeah. That's fantastic. I had no idea. But really, like, I don't even know what to say specifically because it is just such a great movie. Everybody in the cast does a fantastic job. The pacing of the jokes is just so rapid fire that talk to anyone who's seen it. You can watch it 10, 15 times and still pick up new jokes every time because you're like, oh God, I didn't even notice he said that while they walked to this place or did this thing. Like, literally, I've seen Clue probably 15 times and never thought about the fact that the explanation matches the way the board game goes. Like, it's just so great.
Yeah, it's amazing. There's just new levels to the humor in it that you didn't get the first 5,000 times you saw it.
Yeah, which is just, and I know there's a stage play of Clue, which I have not seen, but I know a lot of times, like, especially before you could get Disney stuff to your local schools, a lot of like local schools would do Clue. Which just seems strange to me, but at some point, because I never want to be that guy that like goes to a high school production of something, but I'm like, I kind of want to see Clue though.
Well, high school production is one thing. Like, as long as it's high school and not like one of those middle school or elementary school productions where it's like everyone's dressing up as trees.
Oh, okay. No, I didn't want to go.
Because that's kind of weird.
It's just like Legally Blonde Junior.
Yeah, I don't think I want like the elementary school production where someone dies at the very beginning and all the little kids have to figure out who killed someone.
So here's the hilarious part would be that poor kid who's got to be Mr. Body, but also is really antsy. So Mr. Body just keeps like getting up and like, looking around.
And he's
like,
got to pee.
Yeah. And he's like, I'm done, right? Shh. You just hear like a parent in the third row. Shh, Tommy. Shh. That might be kind of amusing on its own. I got to be real honest. So yeah, I can't say enough. Go see Clue. If you take nothing from what we're talking about.
Yes, definitely go see Clue. Be careful when you go look up what Clue to see, though.
Yeah.
You want the 1985 movie.
You definitely want the 1985 movie.
The 1985 movie is pretty fantastic. That is one of the few movie posters I've ever tried to get and been unable to, like, get an original of.
Really?
Yeah, I've got, like, the Muppet movie. Like, most movies I really liked. I have a Muppet movie. I have a 1966 Batman, although it was a reissue, but it was still a real movie theater poster. But Clue has been one of those that's been really tough for me to get my hands on. Just because it's such a great movie. And everybody gets stuff for it. I know at one point, Mondo Vinyl even did a set of the soundtrack. They did, like, special pressings of the soundtrack in each of the colors of the different characters from the movie. So there was, like, a white and a mustard and a green that was kind of neat.
Nice.
Yeah, like, a lot of people just really dig this, and there's a perfectly good reason. While we continue, let's jump into some more food. Let's try, I guess, what would be considered our main course, maybe? Yeah.
Okay.
So...
It is a protein.
Yeah.
It's meatish.
Yeah.
I mean, it's adjacent to meat.
It's
literally adjacent to meat.
It's an animal product.
It is an animal product.
So, yeah, Rocky,
Yes.
tell these fine folks what we're doing here.
So this is from Supermercado El Rancho, El Rey de los Precios Bajos, Chicharrón Botanero plate. Reading is fundamental. Yeah. Ingredients: pork skin, pork lard, salt. Also comes with a little tiny package of hot sauce.
Mom is already shaking her head.
That appears to be...
It's too much pork for Mom.
Pork.
Pork rinds.
So yeah, essentially pork rinds. Now chicharrones, I know we were talking about this earlier, is that what defines a chicharrone as I've encountered it can be everything from like just a big chunk of pork that's been deep fried to a piece of pork with some skin on it that's been deep fried to this, which is very clearly pork rinds.
Yeah, I had heard that
these are pork rinds.
supposed to be the pork with a little bit of skin still on it.
Yeah, and the thing is, when you buy them like this in the store, they can't just put meat in there.
Right.
So it has to be the pork skins because
but they shouldn't call
they
them
won't go bad.
chicharrones at that point. That's just pork rinds.
Yeah, but I mean, I think like that is that's technically the definition, I believe.
Yeah, because technically it's fried. The skin is the important part, but a lot of times they'll have meat and a little bit of fat on them. Because like if you order them in a restaurant, it's like a hunk of meat with a little bit of skin, and it was baked and then deep fried.
So, how do you want me to do this? You want me to just sprinkle the hot sauce over top? There's a little package of Valentina salsa picante.
Oh, I've had the Valentina before. It's really good.
Yeah, Valentina's decent hot sauce.
Yeah,
Okay, well
it's
then
kind of
clearly
smoky.
It just
I'd say
looks like...
sprinkle it on some, and then you can take
it's
your
just hot
take
sauce.
as you
I
want.
I'll put it on some of it.
Yeah.
They look like fried cashews, if that makes sense.
They're not.
I know.
Oh, I know,
No, they're
because
not.
they don't smell like it.
Have you not had pork rinds?
I don't know.
So I remember
They're
while
crispity and crunchity.
Yeah, while you're covering that, I remember on my bachelor party trip, we stopped in Breaux Bridge, Louisiana.
Of course
Yeah, we did.
And there were two things they were known for.
BB King.
No.
One was
Crawfish?
Boutin.
Oh, yeah.
The place that we went to, God,
Boudin, you mean?
I'm sorry, yes, you're
Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
Boudin.
Boudin is different. Yeah, Boudin.
Yeah, I don't know what Bhutan is. You're making
Yeah,
up French
I
words.
made it up.
Isn't that a country?
Yeah, I
Yes,
think
it
so.
is.
Bhutan, yeah.
Yeah.
No, Boudin, which is a
Boudin.
delicious sausage with a little bit of rice and some
Which
other
was
seasonings.
beautiful.
Yeah.
And then apparently the other
Was
thing
that-
they were known for.
Was that pochés? Is that
Yeah,
where
it
we
was
stopped?
poche. It was poches.
Yeah.
That was the one thing they were known for, and the other thing they were known for, and like all these national, if you don't ever eat anything anywhere, you got to eat this here, was pork rinds. So we were like, oh, sure, we'll take a bag, and I think we got like a pound of pork rinds, which if you've never seen them, is enough pork rinds to fill the entire trunk of an SUV.
Yeah, a pound of
Wow.
pork rinds, it's like a pound of potato chips.
Yeah.
It takes a lot.
So the hot sauce smells nice, but the pork rind smells awful.
The hot sauce is.
You could have gone without the hot sauce, too.
Well, I mean, I thought I'd go for the full experience.
I do really like the smell of the hot sauce. I have
My
to agree.
personal favorite are the, I think, I forget who it is. Somebody makes barbecue pork rinds. Oh, they're so good.
Oh God.
I was expecting a little more crunch.
These are
me too.
stale as anything.
Yeah, they're very
I
soggy.
think this is our bad.
That's real stale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
It
it
was
hasn't
crap.
gone bad or anything. It's just stale.
Well,
Yeah.
that's what you think.
Yeah, they're not normally chewy. They usually are closer to like
Yeah, they're
cheesy
normally
poofs.
they
So-
crunch.
So
Yeah,
these
they
were
crunch like cheesy poofs.
these were sold by September 22nd, you guys.
That's
That
a
means
couple
they're
of weeks.
Yeah,
real
that
and
was-
fresh, though. There's no preservatives. That's why they went bad.
Yeah.
They're vaguely like porky.
Yeah. There's a little porky. I might have really liked had they been fresh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I don't hate the taste in my mouth right now. It's just it was soggy because we didn't get to them faster. Although
Yeah.
if you, as a regular listener of the show, you'll know them only being 2.5 or 3 weeks is very fast for us.
No. It's like a couple of months.
You're right. Them only being a month and a half to 2 months old.
Oh, yeah, these are super dry.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the thing is, these are like real. It's probably some like it says from a supermarket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no preservatives. Like if you go to the store, you can buy pork rinds, but they have preservatives in them.
Yeah.
and they're crunchy forever. But yeah, normally they have like the cheese puffs, not the Cheetos, the crunchy ones, but like cheese puffs. They almost melt because they crunch like packing peanuts.
Yeah.
Kind of.
So yeah, I'm not even going to ask about this because I think asking you
Yeah, it's
to,
not
in
fair.
your mind, invent what they would have tasted like and then provide your opinion is maybe a bridge too far.
I'll
Hot
say
sauce is good,
I
though.
would normally take pork rinds to a party if it was the kind of party where like I would take potato chips.
Yeah.
Then yeah, pork rinds are a viable option.
I like the hot sauce.
The hot sauce is really good.
Valentina's good.
Yeah, no,
Like-
and it's extremely inexpensive too.
Yeah.
I found it at Aldi, I believe.
Nice.
Yeah.
Like
Valentina
big bottles, cheap.
And Tapatio is the other one I get. It's like 99 cents a bottle.
Yeah.
It's super cheap and it's really good.
We'll have to
So
try to
this is
hunt
one of
down
those two.
some Valentina because this was I like the hot sauce and I really think this would have been a rare pork rind I would have liked had it not been
2.5 months late.
Yeah.
Well, what you should probably do, sorry, I'm full of pork rind,
yeah.
is go to the Mercados near us.
Yeah.
They're going to have both of these, and it'll look like this because their butcher shop probably made them.
Yeah, that's probably
So they're
true.
also good for like a week.
Yeah.
but they'll be really good.
We'll have to give that another try. So we're going to move into our next discussion of clues. So we were saying, hey, Bruce, while we play Clue Master Detective, why don't you put the movie Clue on TV, and it'll just be there and it'll be fine. And then I said, hey, what in the hell is this? There was another Clue made in, what was it, 2014?
Two other clues
2014. No,
20
there's only one.
No, there was another thing, a short, I think.
No.
No, there was another movie thing.
No, was it also 2014?
No, there was one in 2016.
Oh, yes. So in 2014, they made a 5-part miniseries. In 2016, they edited it into a movie and re-released it.
Oh, so it's the same thing.
It's
Okay.
the same thing. So here's the deal. We're going to, oh my God. So
Bruce
there
is so
was-
excited about this.
there was a network called The Hub. And The Hub was, what did we figure out was Discovery Family?
It was
Yeah.
Discovery Family it was owned by.
Became The Hub. And so The Hub was partially owned, if I understand it correctly, by Hasbro. And you could tell this because Hasbro had their own game show called Family Game Night, which if you've never seen, you owe it to yourself to watch maybe half an episode and go, hey, I can't believe they did that, and then go on about your life. They also apparently made this young adult Clue miniseries, of which we have watched one episode, and I
Well,
think we'd like to kind of tell you how it goes.
We watched part of one of episode.
We
but
watched
it was
enough.
to get a feel
We watched
for
the
it.
important part.
Yeah.
Yeah, it opens
The important part
with,
was like the first 2 seconds.
Yeah, it opens with somebody being bludgeoned by 2 strangers. You see their faces. You see them do it.
Yeah.
You see what they
do it with.
used.
There's no clue. It's not like who did it where. I don't know that guy's name, but I know what he looks like. And I saw him beat a guy.
Yeah, it was that guy was murdered in that hotel room
With a candlestick.
because those 2 dudes bludgeoned him. And then apparently 2 professional killers did not think to close the curtains.
Until afterwards.
Until
At which point
afterwards.
they did.
To which they gave you a good shot of their face. They did all but, like, give you a thumbs up downstairs.
Yeah, apparently the mystery in this is first finding out who that guy is and then finding out who those people are. Like the people you saw, like they belong to a secret society.
We don't know anything about this.
As you recall from the board game.
Oh, well, of course. I do remember the Secret Society in the board game, not a fool.
Yeah, the Order of the Plum or whatever and other things.
So they introduce all the characters to us. And it's so ham-fisted. Like, Miss Scarlet is just a young lady with dyed red hair, but also red barrettes, but also red fingernails, but also, I think, red pants, because they don't want you to forget that color.
Yeah, Mr. Plum wears purple
Everywhere.
all the time. Miss Peacock has a peacock feather in her hair.
And also has a website just called, like, What's the Peacock Think?
Yeah, it's like a gossip website or something. Because, they're all 18 and hip.
Yeah. Colonel Mustard is just like a dude playing a video game called Mustard, but that's an acronym for... What was an acronym for, Brian?
Nothing.
Yeah, we don't
it's called
know.
Mustard Missions, and it's Mustard is an acronym, and he has achieved the rank of Colonel in this game,
So he is, in fact...
as shown in a screenshot of him video gaming at his house.
Yes. And fortunately for the rest of us, so we don't forget which one he is, he wears mustard-colored pants for, I'm going to say, the rest of the series, but I only know for half of an episode.
They did. I will give them credit. They did change outfits as the days progressed, but they always wore the, like, Mr. Plum or whatever was wearing different purple stuff in different scenes.
I think he actually was a professor. He was just like one of these really super smart people that got a professorship at 18 or something.
If he was 18, I'd be surprised. He's supposed to be
about the
really
Plum Institute at some point.
Yes, he wanted to become a member of the Plum Institute. His IQ is so high, he's already a member of the Plum Institute. There we go. He can crack any puzzle or game, so you'd pick him to be your partner on a game show.
Now, I want you to understand, folks, Brian is reading this directly from the Wikipedia, which I believe your theory was the whole Wikipedia was written by the writers of the movie.
There's nothing on IMDb for this, but this reads like This reads like it was just cribbed from the Hub's website about this show.
That
probably is what this seems like. Every line of this is written by a not great publicist.
You were so good till there.
I was good.
Not great.
Yeah. Not great publicist guy.
So, with all of these characters, there is also one dude who just wears black and white. They call him Seamus, and the only things you see is in his room is a giant $sign in the background, and he has a fly skateboard that also has a $sign on it. So I've decided he is Seamus Monopoly.
So you picked up on something real subtle that the Wikipedia clues us in on.
Okay.
So Seamus, well, he rides a skateboard, so you know that he's a rebel without a cause and attitude to spare.
Once again, from the Wikipedia.
So he's without attitude to spare? Also?
He's got mad skateboard skills and gets everywhere on his deck, but free time is tight because he works as a busboy at a hotel.
That is probably owned by his uncle,
the president of the school?
Mr. Monopoly.
No, his dad is the president of the school.
I'm gonna guess that's but his dad's brother, his uncle.
Or something. I don't know. We watched not president. He's like principal. There you go. That's the word I'm looking for. It's a private school. They could have a president. I don't know.
That's right.
It's a prep school. But yeah. So but the $sign. Rumor has it he runs with the Green Scene, a super cool and exclusive street art crew, and green is spelled with $signs instead of E's, and that's the $sign in his room. He's supposed to be Mr. Green because money.
That's not how that works.
Yeah, you also
No.
can't spell.
I'm not saying I believe this. I'm saying
ease. You can't replace. You can replace ease with like the euro symbol. You're allowed to do that. You can't
Yes.
replace them with dollar
if this
signs.
was a European TV show, that would make sense.
Yeah, but like because I know what the letter
But
E
it's
looks
been
like.
translated to the American market from the euro.
So you're figuring, I want to cover this, is that you figure this was originally European, the E's were euros, it came over here and some writer was like, stop, we can't have the euro symbol like that, change them to dollar signs, and then whoever's job that was just said, all right, and just hit like replace.
Well,
I'm almost
and that's
there with
why
you.
our version is only about 0.7 to their version.
I feel like it wasn't a writer, because a writer would probably, I mean, even a writer of this show, seems
Yeah.
like they might actually care enough to not do that.
Yeah.
But like a producer was like, why do we have euros? This is an American show. Make those dollars.
You figure, I
And
figure
some
you-
key grip was like, sure, we'll spray paint dollar signs on that prop. Done.
And there's like one angry production assistant who's like, what? And the director's
You're
like,
destroying my vision.
you don't understand. This is America. This is the country that gave me my start, and now I have managed to direct Clue, the straight-to-hub production.
Oh no, we heard a little bit about this director now too, and what else
yes,
he
we
has
did.
done.
Yes, it is directed by Terry McDonough, who has directed a lot of shows no one's heard of and like 1 or 2 episodes of Breaking Bad. But the producer,
Oh, who's the
is-
producer?
or I'm sorry, the series creator is M. Raven Metzner.
You may know M. Raven Metzner fans.
Or may
If
not.
you've seen Elektra
Yes, that Electra.
Unfortunately.
or Sleepy Hollow, the TV show,
It was a TV show, y'all.
or, and this is the one probably everyone fondly remembers, is Iron Fist Season 2.
Yeah.
Just
Did you know there was a second season of Iron Fist? There was.
It, in some ways, was an improvement over the first one, and in no ways it was at the director.
This whole thing, man, it's ridiculous.
It's at every level. It's ridiculous. I do highly recommend the Wikipedia if you want a good laugh. It's every third line is absurd, and no one should have written it.
Like, give us a character explanation.
We already give you Seamus.
Oh, you mean Seamus Monopoly from another game?
He does not have a last name in this. As
yeah, because
many
his
of the
last name
characters,
is Monopoly.
many of the characters aren't named. They're just a character trait is their name. But no, Seamus. He's the sleuth who's figuring this all out. Seamus.
Yeah, I know. Seamus.
Seamus, the sleuth.
So you need to stop saying that name, because all I picture is Sheamus from WWE, the big pasty guy with the mohawk, the big red.
You mean the,
All right,
the
fella.
white focus?
Yes, fella, we're gonna solve this mystery, fella.
I'm not part of the monopolies, I tell you.
But yeah, all the character descriptions are pretty great. But Seamus's was the best because he's the main character. So obviously, you put all your good lines in that one.
Yeah.
But we got Liz Handley, hottie with a heart of gold. She lives life with the volume cranked, always on the move, changing plans and somehow finding herself in the spotlight wherever she goes. But she's not totally into herself. Ellipses. She's got a really good soul to match that killer smile. And yeah, that's the one based on Miss Scarlet, apparently.
Yeah, there's
I don't
also-
see any of that.
At one point, Seamus does not want to help the rest of the mystery crew. And she offers what I think are favors to him to come join them.
Yeah, she said, "Come hang out with me on Saturday night. We'll have fun," or something. And
Yeah, that was just straight up propositioning, is what that is.
Yeah.
And these actors all look like 14. I'm sure they're in a prep school, so they're probably supposed to be 19. But to me, from how old I am, they look like children.
Yeah, and it's because they look like children.
Also, that.
Yeah. So I would say if you don't go to Tubi or whatever and watch the show, yeah, you owe it to yourself.
Also, yeah, it's only available
It's
on
on-
which network you've never heard of?
Yeah, on the hub, but really where it's found itself on the internet is on Tubi, Tubi. And if you say, Bruce, what's Tubi? It's where you can see Clue, the miniseries.
It is only 5 23-minute episodes, so it won't take up a whole lot of your time.
Yeah, if you want to begin your board game movie podcast, that's a fine place to begin, I guess.
Sure.
If you're stuffed from Thanksgiving and don't have
Yeah.
anywhere to go and can't move.
Yeah. If there's nothing Mystery Science Theater related for you to watch.
Make your own.
Yeah, indeed.
As we say, bring your own fun.
Absolutely. Make your own gravy, folks.
There you go. That was what it was.
Yeah. Speaking of making your own gravy, it's time for a side dish, I believe.
Oh, goodness.
So we had these sent over. Somebody hand me the piece of paper because I want to make sure I get everything correct here. Because these were a listener to the show, Bryce Knittle. It actually says, note, you pronounce the K in quotation marks. So I hope I got that right. Or Bryce K. Knittle. It is Bryce. I want to say it Bruce because it looks so close to my own name. I'm just like, I know that thing.
It looks pretty close to your handwriting, too, actually.
This is far clearer than my handwriting will ever be. As a note, this item's about to be amazing. It also came with a formal hoodies, formal hoodie. So if you're thinking, hey, Bruce, what's a formal hoodie? Fine question. It's a hoodie with a tie on it. So it's like the old school, like, tuxedo shirt, but as a hoodie and with a long tie. This one actually has, like, D&D dice all over it.
Yeah, like D20s and D12s and 4s
Just
and 10s.
polyhedral dice, yeah.
Yeah.
Not six-sided dice.
No. So if you
Those
had
are
to go
boring.
to a formal party, but you wanted to remain casual, but you also wanted people to know you meant to be formal, but you wanted to be very casual, but also kind of formal.
And you're a geek.
And you're a geek. Go to formalhoodies.com. That's formalhoodies.com. And check this out. Now, to find out what Bryce Knittle from formalhoodies.com
Hath wrought.
Yeah. You ready?
I don't know that I am, but I guess I am.
So, this could also have been something from a holiday episode. A different holiday episode.
Well, this would fit into 2 holiday episodes.
Yes.
We're doing it in this one.
Yeah, at least.
Archie McPhee, mac and cheese flavor, candy canes.
Yeah, take that in for a second, folks. It is a mac and cheese flavored candy cane.
It also assures me on the box, extra cheesy.
I'll crack these open.
Just like us.
Yeah, like the extra cheese craft things.
Yes.
Those
So
are the
much
best.
cheese. And the killer is like they've clearly put a lot of like there's macaronis on the sides and,
Rocky is puzzled by the packaging.
There's a lot of production value in this.
and it very much looks like, oh my god, do not hand each person a candy cane, just break one candy cane up. There is no reason for each of us to eat a candy cane.
You do have a very good
Yeah,
point.
I don't know what you're doing.
I'll open
And
this
by
one.
eat, you mean lick once and then hurl as far away as possible.
I am going to shove that thing as far in my mouth as it will go,
Oh.
in as much as that you're only going to give me a small piece of it, and that's why I see no reason for us to have to eat 5 of them.
You know, if you break it first, the plastic gets easier to open.
Yeah,
and they won't go all over the place when
Yeah.
you break it.
So we're trying to figure out how to handle. Apparently, no one here's ever eaten a candy cane.
Well, I've
I
eaten
guess-
a candy cane.
Yeah, we
I've
don't
never had to-
share our candy canes,
No.
Bruce.
You lick it till it forms a sharp point and then you stab your enemies. with it.
Exactly.
Or yourself accidentally, one of the two.
Yeah, in the mouth.
Did you have like a real rough time in Candyland at some point?
Didn't you?
I didn't spend enough time in Candy Cane. I had to shank somebody.
Look, man, things were different then.
Clearly, they were. Holy goodness.
Thanks, Mom. So these
So-
look like
Smells
candy
cheesy.
canes, except that the stripe, instead of being red,
Ooh.
is electric yellow.
Oh, you might want to just smell this.
Oh,
my
no,
goodness.
it smells like
Oh.
farts.
This is awful.
So here's the deal, folks listening. It doesn't smell like farts, but
It
it
does.
doesn't not smell like farts.
Oh, dear.
Oh my goodness.
Jeez.
It smells like that really bad Chinese plastic.
Yeah,
Oh.
it does smell a little bit like. It does smell on the scale between farts and Chinese plastic. Yeah,
They will see who gets
yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I don't quite know what to do. Oh my word. Holy. It smells a little bit like. Have you ever worn a sock the second day?
piece.
Okay. hold
No,
on.
this is at least a week old sock
Oh
that you
my-
wore every
Yeah, no,
day.
this is a gym sock that you have left in
Yeah,
a locker
yeah, you've
for
left
like
this.
a month and a half.
You did a lot of cardio and then you just left this somewhere.
Oh,
Oh my word. Yeah, I know. There's nothing
That
good
is-
about this. This
No.
is a
Are
yeah.
these in date? Like, is there a
Yes.
date
Yeah, I mean,
when
they're
this
They
would
candy.
definitely are.
I mean, I know cheese sometimes smells funky and doesn't taste that way, but
Bryce was
not the
kind
cheese
enough-
you use in macaroni and cheese.
Bryce and I
B,
had been talking. These freshly came to, I believe, his game store of all places.
yeah, I feel like I saw these on the internet and they were supposed to be released about now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to wash my hands again after this.
I'm gonna have to wash my mouth.
Well, that too.
Or put
Mike
it
went
in.
for it.
I don't even know what to do with this.
There is no
It doesn't
expiration
taste
date.
like it smells.
It doesn't taste quite as bad, but nothing could.
It tastes a little bit like very sweet butter.
Yeah, it does taste
A
like
little.
butter and sweet.
Yeah.
Like this almost reminds me of like kettle corn,
When
like
you,
the butter off of kettle corn.
if you put like
But
kettle
not
corn and
or not salt or
movie
popcorn.
theater butter.
It's butter and artificial cheese flavor.
Here's the problem: you can't eat it without also breathing, so you smell the smell while
Yeah.
you're eating it.
Yeah.
It is the funk.
oh, I'm not getting that at least.
no,
Thankfully,
I don't think I hate this. I can't believe
So-
I'm saying that.
It's not good.
there's no expiration. There's also no nutrition information on
Well,
this.
it's better
How is
than
it
that.
food with no nutrition information?
Maybe
'Cause
it's,
it's
not
not
actually food.
Yeah.
It's better than
Yeah.
that
See,
Skittle
Bruce,
was.
if you hadn't just put the whole piece in your mouth, you would be experiencing it that way. If you were eating it like an actual candy cane, you'd have to breathe with it near your mouth.
The only way possible to eat this is put the whole thing in your mouth and not smell it. It is just
Does anyone know if we're supposed to have titanium dioxide in our food?
Probably no.
Sure, why not?
It's the last ingredient after all those yellow number whatevers that if you're in California, I think they give you cancer, but we're not in California.
Yeah, I'm not in
so-
California. It's actually, if you say, hey, Bruce, why didn't you move to California? Because I don't want to get cancer from that much stuff.
Ugh. It made my mouth feel
Yeah, there's
funny.
ingredients. There's no nutrition information.
That is very strange, because that
Yeah.
means it's not food.
It's bootleg candy
It was
canes.
made in China. Things made in China with weird metallic additives are fine, right?
But I need
Yeah, of
my
course.
recommended daily allowance of titanium.
Yeah, I'm gonna go wash my hands
This
again.
is also my I feel like my maximum allowance of movie theater butter.
It's like movie theater butter and a little bit of sugar and something starchy, but not.
yeah. It's definitely very sweet movie theater butter. Like,
Yeah.
but it is definitely like that aftertaste of fake cheese.
Yeah,
a little bit, yeah.
this is super strange. So,
It's really not good.
I don't hate it. I really don't hate it.
You're wrong.
It
Yeah.
smells awful. I'm
It
not getting
really
the smelling
smells
it while I'm eating it that other people were.
Yeah.
It is definitely better than those Skittles I had earlier.
Well,
This
You
is
mean in
better.
that other episode that most of these
That
people
was-
have not heard
that
yet?
was that
That
was
was
our
right
last holiday episode.
That was in an earlier episode, yes.
Yeah. If you
That we did a long time
okay.
ago.
We did
the
like a month
Patreons
ago.
heard a month
Yeah.
ago, and the rest of you will hear in 2 weeks.
Yeah. So, Mom, would you take it to a party?
No. Because they would have to open them.
Valid point.
Yeah. I can't knock where you're coming from. How about you, Mike?
Oh, this is, I mean, it's not anywhere near the same intensity or just foulness as durian, but I think it's in the same general idea of you don't want this opened near you because it will stench up the place.
I feel like if you feel that way, we need to get some more durian stuff and remind you how bad that is.
Yeah, the
Like
lotte
I
is
said,
not far.
it's not nearly as bad, but it's in the same, classification of things. Like, you don't want to smell this. It's not something that you go sniff, sniff. I think I want to put that in my mouth. No, that is not a thing that happens.
Fair enough. How about you, Brian?
I'm kind of on the fence. The taste is novel enough, and I think inoffensive enough that people would like it. But the smell is so off-putting.
Yeah, the
and especially
smell's
if
really rough.
Like somebody opened one first, no one else would want one. I probably not, even though I like novelty candies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably not because
Should-
it's just so weird and so gross smelling.
So then here's what I'm going to try, Brian, because normally this is the time where you like to bring up some very pedantic question about what party you take it to. So I'm going to
I
hand
feel
you.
personally attacked.
I'm going to hand you a particular type of party.
Okay.
Ugly sweater party.
Yeah. 100%.
I know, right?
100%.
100%.
Anyone who puts on an ugly holiday sweater deserves this.
Well, plus, at the point
Also-
you're having like an ironic ugly sweater party, this is exactly what it's asking for. Like, oh
Yeah,
no, I
it's-
also brought you candy cane.
Offensive and off-putting until you're eating it.
Yeah.
Like a ugly sweater is really comfortable.
Yeah.
It's just ugly.
I also would feel the need to take these and mix them in with just normal candy canes and just be like, oh, I brought you a bunch of candy canes.
People can tell the difference. They're yellow.
Well, I mean, there's good sweet candy, yellow candy canes as well.
Yeah, that's true. You can get the like multicolored ones.
Yeah, I feel like you bring like some greens, some reds, and some yellows, and it looks like you were just trying to do like, oh, it's just all the colors of the rainbow.
Yeah,
and then
Here's the thing.
Candy cane roulette.
yeah,
If you bring these to a party
yeah,
and then disappear into another room with them
Yeah.
and come back with just the boxes taken apart and you've just
Yeah,
got a handful
exactly.
of these things, no one will touch them because they will smell that and wonder what you have done to them.
I don't think they'll figure it out until they've opened it up, and they'll be like, what is this?
Yeah, no, you can smell it before you open them.
Really?
I mean, it really hits you when you open one, but I could smell it.
I can't smell it.
So how about you,
I
Marty?
could.
You taking these to a party?
I would have said no until you mentioned ugly sweater party, but that is the only way. Or if I really, really hate the people throwing the party.
I can see that's what these are made for.
Could I sneak him into a work party with no one knowing it was me?
I don't know. Could you sneak them into a work party with no one knowing it's you?
Sure.
Then yes. Rocky, how about you?
No, because the minute multiple people open them, the place is going to smell like a gym bag.
So I'm going to try this for you. Let me give you also another scenario, because I'm going to play like we're Brian.
Okay.
So let's say, because Brian already tried this.
Let's say you work at a gym.
Let's say you work at a large building that's just a huge open space, where, for instance, your work may have a work party. Would you take them there and then sneak out the back door and hear how the story went?
Absolutely.
I know, right?
And I would have to try and drop them off on the table without anyone seeing it was me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I know.
Yeah, okay. That one specific party, maybe.
That's what I'm trying here. And I'm going to say for me, yeah, ugly sweater party, any ridiculous place I can shuffle them in with normal candy canes so that you wonder
You're
what in
not
the
a
world
good
has happened
friend.
to
No.
you. Yeah, out there, listener, don't take a candy cane from me. I'm not to be trusted.
He is correct. Any sort of holiday themed food from him, not.
You want to think about it.
Yeah.
I would also say I would be willing to bring these somewhere and just be like, hey, it's a mac and cheese candy cane. What you gonna do? And just see what people do. Like, for me, I think it is so novel.
Is going to be the answer to that question.
They'll happily take one, then break the plastic and hand it back.
Smell it, yeah, and throw it away and thank me. So now we're going to move on to actually having played the game. Clue.
Oh, did we?
Yeah,
What
we
game?
did. So, Mike, can you just give us just a brief, a lot of people play the game, but just give us kind of a brief synopsis of how Clue is played.
Okay, so again, we played the Master Detective edition. So this may not be the Clue that you grew up with. This has a couple more locations, a couple more people, a couple more weapons. Other than that, it plays just like the Clue you grew up with. Everyone gets one of these sheets that has, the little boxes next to names and things, so you can take notes and check off what you think has been eliminated and so forth as the game goes. And you desperately trying not to look at your friends because you know the layout of the thing, and you can sort of tell what they're crossing out by where their pen is on the paper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, he named 3 things, and he got a card from somebody and checked off near the top of the paper. That's
Yep.
where the people are.
Yep.
I know which person it is. Yeah.
So you try not to do that and cheat, Bruce.
I mean, I did not cheat in this game.
In this game.
I specifically tried to look down, look away, not pay attention. And, Yeah.
Yeah, that was the thing. As a teenager, I really wanted to make my own clue sheets.
Yeah.
And just randomize them and make like 10 of one layout and 10 of another, so that, because I had friends who we played it in like middle school and stuff and early high school, and they would do that. Like, you'd name a person, a place, and a thing, and if someone handed you a card and you checked off towards the top of your paper, everyone else would go check off on their paper on that same spot, because they're like, well, that's where the people are, and it was very cheaty.
Here's what I think would have been fun, and I'm sure there are kids that have done this, and I would have thought I would have been one of the kids that did this, is you make your own sheet with the things in different places, and then don't tell people that you replaced your sheet with your special sheet, and let them check the wrong things, and then get mad because their clues are wrong at the end. But you check the top of the sheet. Yeah, because you're a cheater.
I definitely did, like, where I would make like I was checking the thing and then wait 2 turns till someone wasn't looking at me and check the thing that I'd remembered. And I definitely did that a few times.
Yeah, that's how you learned the meta game of Clue.
Yes.
The anti-cheat.
The anti-cheat.
Yeah, just like sometimes you ask for 3 things that you have in your hand just to make it go around so that nothing happens. And everyone's like, oh, 1 or 2 of those must be the answer. And like, no, all 3 of them in my hand, but I'm just messing with you.
It's time for me to j'accuse. I don't know why he didn't.
J'accuse. No, all 3 of those are in my hand, but good luck.
There's all of them, bro.
Wow, none of those was right. How did that happen?
Oh, my word.
Maybe you shouldn't trust Brian.
Maybe you shouldn't. This also had something I've not seen in Clue normally, which was the Snoop space.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. There's a space with a little magnifying glass picture on it. If you cross that space during your move, you can look at a card at random from someone else's hand. So you get a clue.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of helps push the game along at least a little bit.
I mean, maybe it could. It did not in my case.
Okay.
I got I think 2 bits of information that way, but they were not useful to me. So, yeah, I mean it can, but it's a random draw, and you are picking randomly from people at the table. I mean, you don't know what they've got. So,
yeah, it didn't help me at all, but I still won. And I didn't have any.
And I was a turn away from it.
But I still won.
I thought Rocky won.
No, I won.
Oh, okay.
Rocky did not.
In my mind, I won.
We're all winners
in my
here.
mind, Rocky won too.
Yeah, Rocky won in the place where it matters.
To be
she
fair,
won.
I was only off by the person, and the person that it ended up being was my other possible guess.
Well, all the 3 people who guessed and got it wrong were off by 1 thing. It's just 1.
So then here's sort of the question is we talked at the beginning about kind of like what your childhood memories are. Rocky, we're actually going to save you to the end because I kind of want to hear because this is your first time playing it.
Okay.
What is your adulthood memory?
Yeah. So like how did this compare to playing it as a kid? Mom, you said you played it quite a bit when you were a kid. So like how does it feel now this many years later having played a whole ton of board games between now and then? Like does this still hold up? Is this still a thing worth playing or is this just kind of a nostalgia trip?
Well, now it's in color.
Oh.
Sorry, Mom.
That's all right. I'm used to it. I think it held up. I still enjoy playing it. I like it. I think that most people probably have played it. I was just kind of taken aback that Rocky had never played it.
Agreed.
So, but I think it's a great game. And I think kids can learn skills from playing the game. They can learn how to, deduction and all the. I think it's good. It's a good game.
But I think the question, like, I want to get a little further into this, is as an adult gamer, you play a lot of games. Would you consider revisiting Clue anything other than, like, playing it with your grandkids?
Oh, I would play it with adults, too. I think yes.
Okay.
I like it.
Nice.
Yeah.
How about you, Mike, now? I feel like we got most of it, because you were like, as a kid, this game of Clue we just played was trash. Was pretty much what you hit me with at the beginning. But, like, is it just a nostalgia trip? Is it you wouldn't even do it? Is it, as an adult, having played this again, it's just sort of solidified how much you didn't like it from when you were a kid? Like, what are your thoughts kind of comparing those 2 times?
Now, I mean, the game has not changed, and my feelings towards the game itself haven't changed. But I would say that having played a lot of board games the way I have, I've learned to sort of, as you say, make my own gravy.
Yeah.
So I can bring some fun to it by adding, let's say, role-playing elements or elements from the movie.
Yep.
Or things like that, and just sort of make it funner for myself.
Yeah.
It doesn't actually change the game itself. The gameplay has not changed. It's still a fairly simple deduction game with the same flaws that the earlier game had. I mean, this one had a couple of different things. It had the little clue spaces and the more places, people, and weapons. But other than that, it's the same game.
Yes.
And it plays exactly the same. So, yeah, I don't really feel that much different about it.
Okay. Just figured I'd ask. Now, Brian, you're another person where you said you played it a lot as a kid enough that you got really into the cheating metagame of it. So,
that was more the people who played with me were doing that, and wanted them to stop. But yes, it was enough that played that was a thing that people figured out how to do.
Yeah, so now you've played some games. Some time has passed since then and now. So then how are your feelings on this? Would this just be a nostalgia trip? Is this the kind of thing you wish that like more gamers you knew would pull out? Like what are your thoughts on it?
I think it's more the latter, honestly. I feel like replaying this now as a more experienced gamer, having played, the games have evolved also since I was a kid. And having more experience with that and having, I don't know, an adult brain as opposed to a 12-year-old brain who can actually, because I remember as a kid, there was a lot, the games took forever because no matter how clever a kid we were still kids. So playing a logic puzzle, a lot of us were doing it wrong.
Fair.
Whereas in this one, now I was an adult and I'm like, okay, if this not, I was figuring out how to actually narrow it down. Whereas as a kid, it was just, well, nobody's guessed these three. I'll guess all three of the ones. And I didn't learn one thing.
That's what I was doing.
And you do that sometimes in the beginning, but then as you narrow it down,
to do that at the beginning.
as the one who won, here's the strategy. Is
thank you. I really
two
appreciate
things
you
that are in your hand.
You're not
you use.
Rocky.
But no, I think it actually increased my appreciation of it. I would happily play it with people. I don't want to play it all the time.
Yeah.
But I feel like with adults who are smart enough to understand how to narrow things down in a way that 12-year-olds aren't.
Yeah.
That actually makes it more fun because I remember as a kid, a lot of people didn't want to play because it'd take forever because we were too spastic as children to be being focused enough to narrow it down. So just every round somebody was guessing randomly and you couldn't learn anything from it.
Fair.
So no, I think I like it more now than I did as a kid.
Okay.
I would certainly, if people wanted to pull it out occasionally, I'd play a game or two of it. I don't want to play it all the time, but I'm very happy. I don't quite know if I'd bring it everywhere with me.
Yeah.
But if anyone ever wanted to play it, I would certainly play a game or two happily.
Okay. How about you, Marty?
It's a game I'd play every 2 or 3 months and be happy to play it, but I don't see it something that comes out often.
And I would say for most gamers at this point, if you play a game once every 2 to 3 months, it's one of the main games in your collection.
Yeah.
That's a game that gets a lot of play if you play a game once every 2 or 3 months.
So, I think that's my lower limit of how often. It's one of those things where it's I wouldn't veto it, but it's not something I would want to plan around and play.
I can see that. If someone else said, I really want to play a game of Clue, me, prior to making us play this game of Clue, would have been like, oh god, no. And now I'd be like, if you really want to play Clue, I'll play Clue with you. It's the same way, Mike often talks about, that we at one point took out Monopoly and played it by the real rules. And it's not the kind of thing I'd want to play all the time, and I'm very largely a Monopoly apologist, but if somebody was like, I really want to play Monopoly, I'd be like, you know what? As long as we play by the actual rules, I'll play a game of Monopoly with you. Why not? And I think Clue might fit kind of under the same thing. I can see that.
Yeah.
So, Rocky.
Yes, Bruce.
So now, as we established, you did not play this as a kid.
I did not.
So now you're coming to it as a person that's played some games. You've been on a gaming podcast for 6 years now.
Yes.
So you've played some games.
I have.
So then, coming to this fresh.
Yes.
Having your only experience with Clue.
Yes.
Being the 1985 Clue movie that you saw when you were at Space Camp.
Yes.
Okay, so
1994.
In 1994.
Yes.
Yes. And you haven't visited since, other than that the two of us occasionally make Clue references to each other. Because the movie's amazing.
Yes.
So what did you think of this?
Why do people play this?
That's some real harsh talk coming from the winner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was.
Imagine if you hadn't won.
It was a lot of quiet sitting there staring at a paper, staring at the board, staring at a paper, and then someone saying something, and then everyone going, and then more staring at a paper. It was not a game per se. I guess it is because there was a winner, but it wasn't fun, and there was no happiness, I guess, while you're playing, and there's no real.
There was a murder.
There's no real. I mean, that happened before the game. Doesn't happen during the game, does it?
Also,
no.
She just referenced happiness, and you responded with, "There was a murder." Just pointing that out.
Truth.
Well, I don't know how much happiness she would have expected in the game. There was just a murder.
That's not how I picked up on that.
Okay,
I
fair.
thought you meant, here's some happiness.
Here's some
the
happiness.
murder.
Someone died.
And there's a board for no reason.
Well,
As far
how
as I
else would
could
you
tell.
run around the house?
You don't need to run around the house.
Did you not see there was a house? It was a giant board.
There certainly was.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why.
Because you had to run around the house.
Doesn't make any difference.
Yeah, but how else would you accuse someone if you weren't in the exact room they were in? You have to show people.
Didn't you see the movie? You have to run around the house.
Kinetic. If you want to know if someone killed someone in the conservatory, you have to go to the conservatory and look around.
Also, why are we figuring out this crime? Why aren't there authorities to do it? Isn't this tampering with evidence? Like, why are we all going to get arrested anyway? Because we touched things in the house?
So I don't know if you've seen the movie Clue.
I have.
We are through weird, some say shoddy writing, sort of trapped in the house. No phones.
Oh, I've seen the movie.
Yeah, so I mean, like,
and they are afraid of the officer at the end.
Yeah, so it's not exactly a haunted house because there's no haunting.
No,
but like it's not a haunted house. We're trapped there.
But like, if
Wasn't there...
a group of people are like, we totally swear this is what happened, you should believe us, are the officers going to be like, yeah, okay, all right.
And here's what I'm
You're
going
just trying to get your story straight before the cops get there.
Yeah. And here's what I'm going to say. If watching 74 episodes of Scooby-Doo has taught me nothing.
They would have gotten away with it if it weren't for those kids.
Exactly.
Meddling
so
kids.
isn't it, that means it's always like the old man in the mask?
Yes.
That's how Clue works?
Dude in the mask, yeah.
So is that
Is there always
Professor
a
Mustard
projector
face?
involved?
Say it again?
Isn't there always a movie projector involved
Yes.
also?
Yeah.
And you didn't actually see a murder.
And wires.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The wires
Yeah.
or ropes.
And then in the end, spoiler alert, it's Scrappy-Doo.
Oh,
Yeah.
Scrappy-Doo.
I don't remember seeing that pawn in this game.
It was there somewhere.
Was it the brown one?
Probably one of the 4 brown ones. That's the other really weird thing about
yeah.
Master Detective is that like 4 of the colors are just like different versions of unpainted
It's like
wood.
Senor Brunette or something.
Yeah.
The brunette one is sort of brownish, but then there's peach and rose, and both of them are like tan, and one has a bit of pink in it. But peaches have a bit of pink in them, and roses have red in them, and neither.
Yeah.
Like rose, the color is kind of pinkish, but peaches are pinkish, and neither one had yellow. So I don't know. We just made an executive decision where like the slightly pinker one is the rose.
Why
Done.
is there an orange? There's a mustard.
No, there's mustard. There's no orange.
Couldn't there have been like Senor Naranja or something like? Just
As opposed to M brunette.
yeah.
We just stopped trying.
Yes.
And then what's really strange is, so this is a 10-character game of Clue. And Clue DVD is also a 10-character game of Clue, and was potentially how we were going to play Clue on this episode. I pulled out every weird clue I had to make a decision, and that had 10 characters, and they did not match the 10 characters that we have here. The base 6 were the same, and the other 4, it was like Rusty the car driver, and it was like, what are these? And I think one of them may have been an orange, far as I know. But Clue DVD actually has little painted miniatures in it, which I didn't expect. And I was going to bring to Clue Master Detective, but no.
Yeah.
I mean, you could have for just the main 6.
Yeah, I thought about it. And I was like, then we'd have to deal with these other pieces. It was a whole thing.
Yeah. We'd need a chart to realize which one's mapped to which ones for
Exactly.
the colors.
And-
What's the orange one? I think that's the peach one.
And then in Clue DVD, the other thought would have been, well, Bruce, just bring the character cards over and play. No, Clue DVD has no character cards. It has 10 DVD crimes where the DVD knows who did it, and there is no random draw thing. Because I know at one point, Mike, you were talking about that, about how it felt a little random at times. It's not in Clue DVD, but you have to ask the DVD for help. I don't know.
This seems like they need a app version
I would guess
for the new millennium.
if they have not made one, they're probably working on it as we speak.
Well, they're working on another movie, so why not?
No.
Yeah, with Ryan Reynolds is something in it.
I mean, I like him, but I don't know that the movie, like, you don't need to improve on perfection.
No.
And although if anyone's going to be entertaining enough to maybe do it, it would be Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, but it has to be
I
a
don't know
whole
who-
cast.
Yeah,
full
yeah,
of
you need
6 more
You
people.
need 7 good, like, actors.
Yeah, because it would have to be Ryan Reynolds and Deadpool and Pikachu. And then 4 more
And Green
people.
Lantern gets
and,
murdered?
Not the Green
and
Lantern,
Green
yeah.
Lantern.
He's the one that gets murdered.
Yeah, Green Lantern gets murdered.
Yeah.
Mr. Lantern.
Yes, that's how it starts.
And Weapon X?
Ryan Reynolds murdered Green Lantern.
Oh, that's how... Spoilers.
No.
Yeah. So, there you go. There's some opinions on Clue Master Detective and Clue kind of generally as a game and as a touchstone in the zeitgeist. We're going to go on to our final bit of Thanksgiving. It is now time for dessert, we say as if the rest of this stuff wasn't candy.
The chicharrones were not.
Oh, that is
they
true.
Weren't.
They weren't
They most
food.
certainly weren't. So this looks like a half moon, really big slice of sweet potato.
It looks like a big slice of orange.
It looks like a cheese wheel, except it's made of candy.
Like I think it's literally just crystallized sweet potato.
Yep.
The label says sweet potato.
I'm in.
Parentheses, dulce de camote. Ingredients: sweet potato, sugar, sodium metabisulfate, and sodium benzoate.
Let's do this.
Ta-da!
Let's do this. Let's make this a party.
Let me.
It is now time for the sweet
this.
potato pie part of our all candy.
It's kind of soft and crumbly at the same time.
Oh, that sounds even better.
Oh, that. Hold on. Let me not get sweet potato all over the microphone.
And all over the chicharrones.
Yeah, it's like smushy crumbly. It's very confusing. I don't want a piece that big. What am I doing? Here we go. Let me pass this around.
Yeah.
Of course, sweet potatoes are nice, so maybe.
Sweet potatoes are very nice, and sugar's fine, and sodium benzoate,
Also,
sure.
Almost ate a piece of plastic because I pulled that off with the piece of potato and didn't notice.
That's not why I hope you. I was going to say, I hope you would have noticed once you ate it.
Probably. Maybe. So it just looks like a giant slice of sweet potato.
Yeah. How's it smell?
Sweet. You're welcome.
Oh, yeah, that is a weird texture, isn't it?
Yeah. It's smushy crumbly.
It looks a little almost fibrous.
Yeah, I mean,
It
there's
is,
probably
yeah.
sweet potato in
Yeah.
it. Yeah. I'm guessing it's like boiled and strained or something, and this is the
Mashed?
goop
Just
that made it through the...
Crystallized.
Yeah, like mashed through a cheesecloth, and this is what made it through.
Are we eating it? We're
Smells
eating
like
Yes.
sweet potato, yeah.
That is such a weird texture for a thing to be.
It's a little crunchy on the outside, a little soft on the inside. And
I'm almost getting like a weird burning aftertaste.
it. Yeah.
I can taste like the potato skin.
Yeah, I feel
It's
like I
like
can.
earthy.
Yeah, I can taste like the dying soul of this sweet potato.
It's smoky almost.
Yeah,
It is.
I don't know why.
Definitely is.
Yeah, the texture is a little bit like old fudge that got like a little crunchy.
There we go.
Yeah, where
Yes.
it's crystallized and it's still edible, but
I don't hate it.
Yeah.
don't
no, it's
hate
not
it.
terribly sweet. Like a sweet potato, it's just vaguely
Another
sweet.
taste. It's
Yeah.
weird. Oh, wait, more plastic.
Yeah, you got to make sure the plastic doesn't come with it.
Anyone? Anyone want more?
I
there
do
we go.
not dislike this. It's real strange though.
It's doing a great job of getting rid of that candy cane flavor.
It sure is. Wow.
It's like fossilized sweet potato.
Yeah.
We can open up another candy cane. You can get that
Nope.
stench.
Yeah,
Nope.
the smushy weirdness of it kind of being like fudge is also a bit peculiar.
Yeah, the texture is interesting.
It's just
Yeah.
like mashed sweet potato.
But there's like,
Yeah.
if you look at, there's occasionally like looks like little bits of solid in there or something.
It kind of reminds me if you've ever had dehydrated pineapple. Mm-hmm. It's that same texture where you're like, oh, it's a sugary thing, and then I'm biting into a weird smushy bit.
Yeah, like like a dehydrated pineapple, where it has like an outside that's a different texture than the inside.
Yeah.
And like most dried fruit, that's kind of the same way all the way
Yeah.
through.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it tastes a lot like just sweet potato, just a very sweet potato.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it really feels like they boiled sweet potatoes till they exploded, and then just strained them through some fine mesh, and this is what was left.
Yeah. And then they hit it with a little bit of sugar to preserve it.
Yeah,
No, I'm pretty sure the sodium benzoate did that.
Well, that probably helped.
yeah. There's also a little sugar in there too.
Yeah.
Sodium metabisulfate also.
Nice.
Yeah, but I think the sodium benzoate's the preservative. It's the same stuff that's in Diet Coke.
According
Yeah.
to this, they're conservatives
Yeah.
as opposed to liberals.
Well, there you go. So, the big question, would you take it to a party, Rock?
Yes, because it's weird.
Yeah, I can see that. How about you, Mom?
I don't know if I would or not. I don't think I would. I'm not really a big fan of it,
Okay.
and I don't eat sweet potato too much. But maybe if I fried it first, I'd take it.
Oh, that's what it needs.
That is exactly what it's missing.
Man, we should try that.
Indeed. Indeed, we should. Mike?
No, I do not like sweet potato, and I did not like this.
Okay, well, if you didn't like sweet potato, I definitely don't believe this is going to win you over. Brian?
Is this the kind of party where I'd take a weird semi-dehydrated wheel of sweet potatoes. It looks like cheese. Half wheel.
Are they not all that kind of party?
Yeah, I mean, if it's kind of party where that would be welcome. I mean, it's tasty. The novelty is crazy, but it's not like a lot of novel foods are also scary almost.
Are they like
some
those
people.
mac and cheese candy canes?
Well, kind of, yeah. But like this, it looks weird, but it kind of just tastes like fine. You know? It doesn't taste bad. It doesn't taste amazing. It's just, it's not like the flavor is going to be off-putting.
Yeah.
To most, I mean, even the people here who didn't like it weren't like grossed out. They just don't want more.
Yeah, that's fair.
So yeah, I mean, I'd probably take it. You know, if it's a kind of party where I could take a dehydrated, boiled down sweet potato paste.
Well, I hope you find that kind of party, Brian.
Yeah, good luck.
You said any party is that kind of party.
I think most could be. How about you, Marty?
I'm not sure. I mean, it's one of those things where it's okay tasting. It's not great. It's not bad. It's like if I was going for like a potluck or something, I might bring that as a dessert.
Yep.
But it for me, it's not too novel to be interesting, but it's not too normal to be just kind of like your everyday thing. So it's just, I don't have anything against it, but I don't have anything for it either.
Okay. I'm going to jump in and say I think I would take it to a party. I don't know that I agree with you. I think it is just novel enough, mostly through presentation and texture. Like, I agree with you. Hey, I'm bringing sweet potato. Like, literally the reason we chose it as our dessert course here is because of sweet potato pie. So it's not like so off the charts that it's not anything you've ever heard of. But I definitely think it's just kind of oddball enough to bring to a lot of places just because of its form factor.
So just out of curiosity.
Yeah.
So we've got the candy canes, they're holiday.
Uh-huh.
We got the sweet potato pie, that's holiday.
Yeah.
What were the chicharrones for?
The chicharrones were because I needed a main.
Okay.
Needed a meat.
Yeah, I needed some sort of meat
I
thing.
see.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving and pork. Those
pork rinds are very...
Yeah, well, I tried to get
Thanksgiving-y.
turkey rinds, and they just didn't come in, guys.
Oh, you didn't get the turkey
I think they call those
chicharrones?
feathers.
Yeah, I didn't...
I don't feel like turkey skin fried up might be kind of good.
Or it
Be
might
like,
not be, too.
I mean,
fried
fried chicken
chicken.
skin is good.
Yeah.
That's
that's
the
true.
best part of the fried chicken.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think you dip this in egg, coat it with like sweet pecans, fry it. It's got a shot.
Oh my goodness. She found a way to make that less healthy.
Yeah, she did.
Oh yeah.
Wowzers.
Yeah. No, I would eat that. I'm not going to pretend I wouldn't.
Exactly.
Once.
So, yeah. There is Clue and also a lot of food. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
Happy
I hope you're as full as we are.
Happy
Indeed.
Thanksgiving, Americans.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. And if you're not in America, happy Thursday or Friday or whenever you listen to this.
Yeah, and if you're
Happy
Canadian,
sometime.
happy belated Thanksgiving.
Indeed. Yeah, thanks so much for listening. I've been your moderator, Bruce, joining me on the show.
Flames on the side of my face.
I can't top that. Bye.
I'm a plant.
I'm a red herring.
The butler did it.
And thank you so much for listening.